Hey Jamal.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just wanted to touch base on this Erika Tom Girardi situation because it's just changed so much. I just thought we'd just jump on real quick, have a quick convo, and just like exchange thoughts.
Cool. I'm here for it. Just telling everybody who's coming into the chat. Hello. Hey Trey. Hi
None.
Ain and Gatatua. Hey y'all. Let's see. Okay, so I have the websites that you sent to me. Do you want to do the share screen now, or do you want to
No,
save
I
it?
have articles too. I'm so sorry. I'm
Mhm.
getting everything in line.
Okay.
All right, I'm good. I just want to start with like what our initial thoughts were.
My thoughts on this are, um, it's messy. And then he wound up in the hospital. Now, I hate to say this, and if he really
Mhm.
is ill because he's an older gentleman, I wish
Mhm.
him a speedy recovery. But if this is a
Yes, most
legal
definitely.
ploy, to get sympathy from the courts or delays or continuances or the
Right?
jury to be more, oh, poor Tom, he's a little old man, then shame on you.
hmm So the way I'll go back to my initial thoughts. So I really thought this was going to be, they're working together. They're gonna like do this divorce really easy. It's only gonna take maybe 3 to 4 months, and maybe like a little back and forth, but it's gonna be over quick. They're in this together. Blah 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 blah. It
Yeah.
is just not turning out this way. I've been following Emily D. Baker. She's amazing,
Oh.
and I've been following. She's been breaking it down like step by step by step. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
like just when the initial lawsuits came out, I'm like, okay, you're getting sued now? Like, what?
Mhm.
There's more to this. And then I think, but okay, let me go back. So when she was asking for spousal support, I'm like, what? Like, y'all in this together.
Okay. Just not to cut you, but Trey's asked a really good question. Can you guys give us an update on what's going on? All I've heard is that they've been keeping clients compensation money. Is that true? It He's been accused of that, but you've been
Right.
listening to
We're
this
gonna,
more than me. So in addition to what we're
yeah, we're
talking
gonna
about
get,
today, give a little backstory on that part too.
so yeah, so that kind of threw me off. When you asked for spousal support, and then he comes back, well, no, I want you gonna pay my attorney fees. I'm like, what is going on here? So that was the first clue for me. Then as it moves on, it just got real wild with you got first I think it was like Wells Fargo suing him, like you owe us money for this. I'm like, what? Like you got like loans out there. I'm like, how are you getting these loans with these lawsuits out there? I'm just so confused about that. So that took them working together completely off the table. I'm like, okay. Then let me go to so we can start with the page 6 article, I guess.
Okay, so page 6, this one, P. All right, so let me share screen. Okay, here we go. All right, the video's still loading, but oh, this is people. I'm sorry. Page 6. You can go ahead, Jamal.
All right, so this article from page 6, the overview is so basically Erica's right husband Tom held in contempt of court in Lion Air settlement. So this is alludes to what Trey was talking about. So basically, what they're saying is that clients have not been paid for the for some of their payments of their lawsuits. So this is where it comes into play, like, was he keeping the money? So basically, what I understand from Emily's Live is that the court are saying that, or the plaintiffs are saying there's $2 million owed in settlement money. They want these people haven't received their money. Come to find out, he only has basically $15,000 in liquid company assets, like money, like tangible money. So they're like, no, that's not right. Like, where's the money? So that was like the start of the real mess, because how are you owing these people $2 million, but you only have $15,000 like in ready cash available to pay these people? What's going on? So they wanted, now they're asking for like basically forensics on their accounting. Like, where's the money? Like, where is this money?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's insane. Like, the amount of money that he's like won, like, it's crazy, because what's supposed to happen, the way I've been kind of following, the way it's supposed to work is, so this one, I'm sorry guys, let me double check. Okay, so I want to say this is the one where the judgment was for 4.9 million. I hope this is the right lawsuit. So, so sorry. So he got a $4.9 million judgment. We'll just use that number because it's one of the numbers given. They get like 30% of that judgment off top. Like,
The law
so what?
the law firm gets 30% of the
Yes,
judgment?
yes,
Nice.
for fees. So
Okay.
1.9 million, so 4.9 million, take 30% of that goes to the attorneys, and the rest is to go to their survivors and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's, what's 30% of 4.9?
I don't do math. I'm not that bright.
So that's like, we'll say 1.5.
Yeah,
Roughly
1.47
billion in fees to your company. So there's no reason why those people should have been paid. What's supposed to happen is, once the attorneys get their cut, they're supposed to go in some sort of like trust, like would you say client's trust, and then money dispersed that way. If he's only oh, Rusty Dollar says it's 30% plus the expenses. Got it. Wow. So even more than the 1.47. So the rest of the money for the victim is supposed to go into an account and be for disbursement. Since there's no records of this money and it's not in Tom's personal account, they're trying to find where this money is. And it's a mess. It's completely insane. People are up in arms. Like, what did y'all do? Like, they're following the money. Now, the cool part is Erika's name in some of these filings because of the loan Tom made to her company in the amount of $20 million.
So wait a minute.
Now the question is, yeah.
Wait. So Erika Jane Enterprises, or whatever her business is, took out a loan from his legal firm's, like, she borrowed money from his legal firm?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Doesn't he have partners? Like, who approved that? 20 million?
That's where it gets sticky.
I didn't know law firms were banks.
DSJ has it right. Attorneys have to keep their different accounts for clients' money and their money earned for representation. A little misappropriation, exactly. So yeah, it's a whole lot going on. So let me go. So next, the article is the one about him being hospitalized from Us. Was it Us Weekly? So this goes to your point. Like,
Us?
we hope he gets better if he's really sick. Some people think this is a ploy. to gain sympathy. I'm like, oh no, I hope it's not. Please no. I don't want him to be sick, but I also don't want him to be like using his health, like a serious health issue, as a ploy in the courts. I no.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that is. That's where that is. That's where that lies. And then, oops, the people article states about now he's being sued by his law partner. So it's a whole bunch
Oh,
of lawsuits coming out the woodwork now.
here we go. So this one is Erika Girardi's husband Tom sued by law firm partner amid divorce embezzlement case. So
Yes,
he's being sued for the embezzlement, he's being sued for divorce, and now his own law firm partner is suing him.
correct. And the
Okay,
divorce,
now.
and let's not forget that his assets are frozen. Everything.
Isn't that only $15,000 or something?
No, it's everything. Like
Oh,
everything. Like any accounts with his name, any accounts he has, anything frozen.
does that include Erika as well, or just him?
Just him. So sorry,
Mm.
just him. So
Mm.
this, well, I want to know from you, like, this is just a quick hot topic. Just a kind of a little update for everyone. Do you think Erica knew? I want you to go first on this one.
Yeah, I do. And the only reason why I say that, her first season on Beverly Hills, she said it takes $40,000 for my glam per month. It's not what it's not cheap being me or something like that. That sounded so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who needs $40,000 hair, makeup, and clothes?
But here's the thing: when she says that,
That was a lot.
does that include payroll, like expenses? I'm like, I want to know exactly what the 40,000. I want to see a breakdown of $40,000. I'm gonna have to look for that.
She
I want to see a
didn't,
breakdown.
but she didn't have the studio then. All she had was a couple of guys who was doing her hair, her makeup, and her clothes, like about three of them at that time. Remember, it was a small group.
Hold on a second.
It wasn't, and she didn't have the office. You know, she hadn't even gone on tour yet. Had she? Was she doing touring before she came on, like as Erika
I believe
Jane?
so.
Like
Okay.
it just seemed really off.
So here's the thing. According to Google, the median makeup artist pay is 75,000 per year. So I want to know,
Mhm.
does your 40K a month include payroll? If it includes payroll, I'm not that mad. If it includes payroll, expenses, travel stuff, if it encompasses all that, I'm okay with that, because people will like embellish things or leave things out. So I could see spending five in her position. I could see her spending 500K a year in glam. But if you're telling me that the only thing glam includes is like hair, makeup, and that's it, I'm going to need to talk. I'm going to need to talk to somebody about that, or I'm going to need to get a job, because let me know. Let me know. So you think she knew? Do you think she knew everything, or just a little bit?
I think Tom married her for a reason because she knew how to keep her mouth shut,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes along to get along. So I think she knew what her husband was doing, if not from the very beginning, along the way. And it
Okay.
benefited her because she has a great lifestyle. She don't gotta be,
Gotcha.
shaking her butt in some strip club.
Mm-hmm.
She don't gotta be serving food at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think in the beginning she didn't know, because when, like, think about it, if your spouse comes home like, yeah, baby, excuse me, we just closed this $5 million case and I get 30% plus expenses. You thinking it's cool? You out there spending the money because it's spending. Then your cards ain't working. There's money. You can see money in your account. Like, you're good. You're not thinking about it. But I think when he started getting sued is when she kind of figured out something's going on. I think she knew from. I'm so sorry. I think that she knew from when that first lawsuit came out. You guys remember the one with the burn victim? He hadn't received his settlement money, and he needed that money for his surgeries. This was a couple years ago. I think she knew from then something wasn't on the total up and up.
I don't know.
That's
It
my
just
thing.
seems very
And Will,
odd. Like, I know, like, you know, even though you're not in the office with him, I think you have to know if you are getting funds transferred to you and you have no idea what they're
mm-hmm.
for. You know, and then a lot of people are saying that this divorce isn't even like on the up and up. Like, it's a way for them to transfer money so that he has something
Right,
when he comes out of all this mess.
exactly. So she knew, like I said, she knew at a certain point. Like, you kind of know, but like you kind of turn a blind eye because it's like you're like, well, I don't really know what's going on in his law for cases, things of that nature. So she's like, I can play dumb, I can play blind on this one. Just a little under the weather, but I'm okay. I'm okay. So that was my take on it, because I will be the first one that I just thought it was a whole money moving scam. They were in it together. That was my, this is gonna be easy. We got this figured out. But then, like I said, once the lawsuits hit, they sued each other in court for
Mhm.
spousal support and legal fees. I'm like, oh, y'all really not on the same team on this one. This is interesting. And then you see all these lawsuits coming out. I'm like, what? And then, like, I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't watch Emily D. Baker, like, watch her. She breaks it down so well. I'm just paraphrasing and give you the gist of it. But this is where they are right now, from what I understand, is that divorce case is on the back burner right now because of these pending lawsuits and the assets frozen. And then what could happen, according to Emily's, what could happen is they could run up in bankruptcy court, which is the real interesting part. Due to the reason why there's so many different states and jurisdictions involved, they just may all put it into bankruptcy court so these people get paid. And if it goes down, they could make them sell all their assets.
But okay, is anybody suing the the law firm itself, or are they only suing the lawyer individually?
They're suing the law firm itself, because it's
Oh,
the law firm that takes in the money and supposed
right.
to put it into trust.
Didn't the other partners see? Like, don't they have accountants? Like, what the hell's going on at that law firm?
That's what they're trying to figure out, like, what's going on here. And then come to find out, he owes another partner who retired some money. According to the documents, I think the old partner's supposed to receive, I think it was like 5 million. It's supposed to be 5 million in a trust for pay, and then he's supposed to be paid $8,100 every 2 weeks, and his payments have gone missing. So I think he may be suing him as well.
Hmm.
That's what's going on. I think what happened was like once the divorce hit the line, people started asking questions, and then like, now we gotta get our money. So they all like all these lawsuits are just coming out of nowhere.
Is this a time that you would want a forensic accountant to come in and start
Oh yeah.
like digging through?
Oh, I'm sure they have one because that's part of the filing. So this is not a criminal. From what I understand, this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case. So they're basically suing to get access to the books. Willow, did she really thought people won't notice that money that was still people won't figure it out? What it is, Willow, I work in the finance department of my company. So really, what people don't understand is money always leaves a trail. There's always a way to track down the money. In some cases, it's harder than others due to like if you're dealing with international, like the Caymans and all that stuff. Or sometimes it's easy because people are dumb. But money always leaves a trail. So all they really have to do once they get the subpoena or whatever, they start at the beginning. Like, okay, this is the judgment date. This is who paid out the money. Okay, we'll say Lion Air. Lion Air paid out the money. Lion Air says, okay, we wired this amount of money to this account. Okay, now they're going to go to that account. Okay, now what they do is they go through the transactions of their account of the money that goes out. So from there, they track them how much money went out and where it went to. Then they add out like, okay, so this much money was paid out. Okay, there's no money here, so all the money was paid out. Okay, now what they do is any basically what I think would happen, any wire transfers that doesn't go to a I guess you could say a survivor, like the people who would get the money in lieu of the person who passed away. So if they would just verify each account, like, okay, we verify these accounts, who owns these accounts? And then they would match the account owners to the list of survivors to see who got what. That's
Are
my
they
thought
are
process.
are they also going to check the amount of money they received? Because I was hearing some rumblings about how some people did get their settlements, but it wasn't the amount that they anticipate. Say, like if they're supposed to get $100, they only got 25.
Yeah, so they go through that's the judgment. That's why the judgment
Mm-hmm.
they have to go through each judgment, see how much each person was supposed to get
Mm-hmm.
and how they were supposed to receive it. So it's a lot that's going to go into this, but that's typically where you would start.
Do you know anything about this? The question that Gatatua has. My question is, was he a signatory to the company account? Do you think he would have been?
Okay, from what I understand, if how can I put this nicely? I would think a non-shady establishment would not have the lawyers on the accounts. You would think that only the accountants would handle that
Mm-hmm.
to prevent the lawyers from spending the client's money. But given what we know, I'm confident in speculating that he was a signatory on the account.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm leaning right now.
Oh, JC Bear wants to know, are the judgments taxable in the United States? They probably are.
I
Everything's
believe
taxed.
they are.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just double check.
Gina B, wait, I have to scroll back up. What happened to your mom, Gina B? My mom was scammed by a real estate. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I'm the only one who didn't see this. My mom was scammed by a real estate and the man went to jail, but she never saw a dime. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Gina B. But unfortunately, I think that happens more times than not. You know?
So to answer JC Bird's question, punitive damages and interest are always taxable. You might receive a tax-free settlement or judgment, but pre-judgment or post-judgment interest is always taxable and can produce attorney fee problems. That can make it attractive to sell your case rather than go to judgment. So basically, I think what I'm taking from is better to settle to avoid taxes than go to judgment and have to pay that money.
Wow. You gotta love it. Money and power.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like at first I wasn't even gonna, I was gonna follow it just to see what happened, but with all these lawsuits and the assets being frozen, I'm like, okay, I think this is a hot topic we can talk about and like follow along because it's it's much more than the divorce now. Way
Mm-hmm.
more. It's civil, it could go to criminal. I mean, like people say like Tom could fall out, what would happen? They were like Emily said they would still proceed probably in bankruptcy court. So yeah, they can you can still sue and sue through the estate.
And I think somebody might have mentioned this in the chat earlier, but if the IRS gets involved with this and it's about, tax money,
Right.
anything like that, he definitely going to jail.
Yeah.
The
He going to
federal
jail.
government could not get Al Capone on anything criminal, but the dang IRS got him on taxes.
Tax evasion.
Mm-hmm. You
Like
can escape the feds, but you can't escape the IRS. So
no,
I wish him well.
me too.
um this is not a funny situation by any means. When I see stuff like this, like, I'm glad I'm poor. Yeah, this is just messy all around. And do I think Erika's hands are clean? In my opinion,
I,
no.
in my opinion, she knew at a certain point. She didn't know at the beginning, but in my opinion, once the lawsuit starts, you have to know something.
It doesn't matter at what time frame she knew. It just matters that she
Yep.
knew.
Yep.
And if she didn't say anything about it, she was aiding and abetting or accomplice something legal like that. And I'm scared of the people's prison. I'm sorry. I wouldn't
Yeah,
survive.
me too. Here's my whole thing. I want to end on this part since this is a hot topic and we're trying to keep these to 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Do you think that Erika, someone tipped Erika off to what was going down? She files for divorce. That way, if she gets a divorce, she can turn evidence against Tom. And because spousal privilege would not be in play at that point if they're divorced.
That's a good and shady move. But then if I'm on that jury and that comes out, I'm gonna be like, what? See, I'm
Right.
I'm petty. I'd be like, so you divorced him so that you could turn state's evidence so that you could get a lighter sentence?
Yep.
Goodbye, all the way to the penitentiary. Cell block H to you. Be gone.
I could just see that though. I could see that like I just want to know the backstory, like who the sources are, like who knew what when. So I'm definitely gonna follow this. It's a good story now. Now it's more than a divorce. Like we can have the feds involved.
Mhm.
We know there's some shady dealings, like who was involved in the shady dealings, when it happened, where's the money. Like this is very interesting. This turned out to be. I think everyone thought, oh, this is just gonna be a Beverly Hills divorce. Like we know they're shady. We know like we think we know like what they have planned. It's gonna be nothing, and now it's turned into all this. This is quite a
But what
deal.
I'm not gonna do is that I'm not gonna accept Real Housewives of Beverly Hills blatantly ignoring this in her storyline.
Oh,
She
you know
needs
Rena's
to
happy.
start talking about
Rena got
this.
a storyline now. You know Rena's gonna bring it up. You know Rena like, oh, I got me, I got. She's like, dang. I got Amelia and Scott Disick, and I got Erika. I'm good.
Oh my God. G to B, you would do the same thing? I probably would too. I'm scared. I wouldn't do well in jail.
I mean, it's a
I
perfect
wouldn't.
plan though. It's legal. Like yeah, like somebody came down the line. Okay, I got to divorce him real quick. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miss Pretty Lee
With all the
Random. The divorce was a dead giveaway.
yep. With the way it played out. Oh yeah, and total to giveaway.
Mhm. Let's see. Got to tour. The divorce was a ploy that crumbled between the two of them. Mhm.
Yeah. So guys, this is like we like are
Mhm.
gonna start having like these hot topics, maybe like 2-3 times a week, just following some hot topics, and we'll definitely revisit this as more stuff comes out. There's more stuff that's gonna come out. We hope you enjoyed it.
Oh,
Debbie, anything
I
else from
didn't
you?
wait. I had to put this up. I haven't gotten a chance to watch the real Andy of Beverly Hills. He really has said this. Oh
I
my
think I saw. I haven't watched the video
God.
yet.
I'm so behind. I'm such a loser. But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't put it past Renna because Renna is a barracuda. Um and she'll stab anybody in the back with the exception of Harry Hanlon. I don't know why she puts up with that, but okay. Erica's
Hey,
selling her. Oh, wait, look at this. Erica is selling her clothes on IG. It's kind of cool because you can see her closet. Really, Ebony Dix? Oh my God. I don't know.
like
I
she's
don't
getting
want
him
any of
in
those clothes where she pat the puss in them. Oh, not my cup of tea, even with dry cleaning.
right. Fair.
Okay, so any other points you want to make before we wrap it up?
No, we're good. I think we covered everything.
Yay! Thanks, guys, for joining us for this little hot topic session, and we'll see you later on this afternoon for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.